if I've allowed you to be a professional driver, if I've allowed you into this industry, in the professional driver and trucking industry, sit down. You and I need to have a conversation. All right? So, and this is a two-way conversation, something that I don't understand. Even though I'm the best and number one in this industry, I don't understand this. Even though you are the god in the industry, sometimes you don't understand stuff, and you should always be learning something every single day. All right? So, I need to have a conversation with you guys. For my entire driving career, professional driving career in this industry, I've only been on two lines. I've been on the drive line, or I've been in sleeper berth. Literally nothing else at all, period. Alright? So, I started a new company like a month ago, a little less, and I was doing just that. I was in sleeper berth, and I would jump in the front seat and start driving. Well, I mean, I'd do my pre-trip and start driving. So, sleeper berth to drive line, and that's it. I would stop, sleeper berth. So I did that with this company, and safety man calls me up one day, and it's like, hey, I need you to show on duty time. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't even know what that is or what that means. It doesn't make any sense to me. And it's like, well, you have to show on duty time for loading, unloading, fuel, and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that. Like, what do you do? He's like, well, you go on duty. I'm like, well, where is that? Like, where do you find it? And he's like, well, you know, it's part of the 4 lines. He's like, oh, it's that. Okay. So, I got fuel that day that safety man called me. And when I got fuel, I saw that when you are on duty getting fuel, that the on-duty time cuts into your 11-hour driving time, 14-hour workday time, 70-hour clock. And so that's what I don't understand. My whole entire professional driving career in this industry, I've always had 70 hours for driving only, pure straight driving, and nothing else. And now with this new job, instead of having 70 hours of drive time for 8 days, now just for even numbers, it's 40 hours that I get to drive in 8 days instead of 7. Which blows my mind. And so I told safety man, I called him back and I told safety man, I said, hey, look, you understand that when you go on duty, it starts your 14-hour clock, and you go on the clock and it starts taking time off your 14 and your 70. It's like, yeah, I know that. I'm like, okay, safety man, then like there's no sense in doing this. I've been DOT'd many times over my career. DOT has never said anything to me. I've always had clean inspections, 0 violations. I've got a clean and clear record, you know, no tickets, no accidents, no nothing, like, at all. And DOT man's like, or safety man's like, well, if you want to work for this company, that's what you're going to have to do. That's what we require. Like, well, I don't know what to tell you, man, but, you know, I'll try to start doing it for you, but it don't make no sense to me, because you want to maximize your driving time. You got 70 hours to drive in 8 days. Now, with this on-duty crap, you've got 40 hours in 8 days. So, you can't do as much. And so I got to thinking about it, and this is where I want to have a dialogue with you, because this is something that I'm curious about, don't understand, is how is that not falsifying a logbook, right? So you have a 15-minute pre-trip, and then however long it takes you to get fuel, so we'll just say another 15 minutes, so right there's 30 minutes. Then you have 30 minutes of loading time, and then 30 minutes of unloading time. And then you have 15-minute post trip. So right there's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, literally every single day. Because for what I'm doing, I'm usually getting loaded and unloaded the same day. And so, there's like 2 hours right there. And when I get loaded, it takes anywhere between like 2 to 8 hours to get loaded for what I do. And to get unloaded, it takes anywhere between like 2 hours and 10 hours to get unloaded. So, how is that not falsifying a logbook? Because you're doing a 15-minute pre-trip of a morning, which it doesn't take me 15 minutes. Lights and tires. I have not really ever seen anybody open their hood. So there's your pre-trip. Doesn't take 15 minutes, but if I remember right, it's like, it's federal DOT regulation that you show a 15-minute pre-trip. I know for a fact you do not have to do a post-trip at all. There's no law. It's only a pre-trip. So there's that. It doesn't take 15 minutes. It takes like 2 or 3. And the other thing is it takes me a lot longer to get loaded than 30 minutes, but they want at minimum 30 minutes of load and unload time. And so I told somebody, I was like, okay, well, you show 30 minutes of getting loaded, and then you go in sleeper berth for the next 4 hours, and then you come back on to the drive line and you go. I'm like, DOT is not stupid. DOT is going to look at your logbook and be like, okay, he was at this location for 30 minutes and then 4 hours in sleeper berth, and then he came back on the drive line at the same location. So he was probably getting loaded. Like, why would you sleep for 4 hours when you had literally a brand new clock? You literally just started your day and stuff. So DOT is not stupid. They're going to be like, you were getting loaded, you're getting unloaded or whatever. And then my next problem is this happened to me last night, is you get to a shippers or receivers, and you get there and your 11-hour clock is into your 14-hour clock, and you get there and you have literally 1 hour left on your clock of your 14 and 11. 1 hour. So you get there and you start unloading your product and everything, and obviously it's going to take you longer than 1 hour, right? So with all of that being said, how's that not illegal? Because anything that advances or furthers the company, anything that benefits the company, has to be recorded down and logged. Okay? So I am sitting there getting unloaded, and I have to do a 15-minute post trip, 30 minutes of unloading time. So right there's 45 minutes. So I'd only have 15 minutes left in sleeper berth. But like I said, DOT is going to see that you arrived at the same location, same address, and went on duty for loading, and then your 15-minute post trip, and then you're in sleeper berth. And like, how is that not illegal is what I'm trying to say. All right, so that would be, if it is a law, which I think that it is for us, that would legally be falsifying a federal mandated DOT logbook, right? So why did they want you to be legal and do everything by the book, but yet they have you do that, which is falsifying the logbook. So I don't understand explain this to me, because make it make sense. I don't understand it one bit. It makes zero sense in my book. There's zero logic to it, because what somebody told me is, it's like, oh, well, DOT wants to see when you're getting fuel. DOT wants to see when you're getting loaded. DOT wants to see when you're getting unloaded. I'm like, you don't have to show that on your logbook. Like, you don't have to show up to somebody, show on duty getting loaded, because they know that you're going from point A to point B, getting loaded and then unloaded, that you're getting fuel. So you don't need to show that. They know you have to do that in order for you to succeed at your job. So, to me, in my book, it's the same thing as going out and yelling to the world, the sky is blue, the sky is blue. You already know the sky is blue, so I'm not going to come out here and tell you that the sky is blue. I don't need to write it down on a piece of paper every single day and give it to you. Be like, the sky is blue. You already know that the sky is blue. Why would I tell you the sky is blue? It has nothing to do with anything at all whatsoever. So why would I go and do that? It doesn't make a lick of sense. Not one bit. Oh, every single day you need to show however long it takes you to get fuel, and just for even numbers, I'm going to say 30 minutes to get fuel, and it has to be on duty. Why would I do that? You already know that a motorized vehicle takes fuel. You already know I'm getting fuel. I don't need to show you or tell you. You know it's happening. So, like, just make it make sense for me, please. Because I don't understand it. It makes zero sense. And for well over 6 years, I've literally only been on 2 lines and 2 lines only. I have been in sleeper berth, and then, so the way I've always done it is at like 9 hours and 50 minutes of my 10-hour break, I will wake up and I will go and walk around my truck really fast, lights and tires, make sure everything's fine, maybe check a few airlines and all that stuff, and we'll use the bathroom, let the dog use the bathroom, jump in, eat really quick, bring up my drinks and my snacks, and by that time, when it hits 10 hours and 1 minute after my 10-hour break, I'm driving, and it automatically kicks you on the drive line. And that's the way I have always done it. Always done it. And I stay in sleeper berth for the 7382 split, which has saved me a few times. So always be in sleeper berth for your 7382 split. And it doesn't make a lick of sense to me. So, and I know there's a few DOT officers who follow me and watch my videos and everything. So please comment and share and like this video so that more DOT officers can comment and explain this to me. And hell, if somebody wants to even call me and talk to me on the phone and explain it over the phone, you can call me at 417-430-7210. And I will be more than happy to listen to your explanation and have a dialogue with you and go back and forth with you. Because I'm sure whatever you're going to say, I'm more than likely not going to understand it. I'm more than likely going to have probably a better viewpoint of it that makes better sense. I'm assuming. I don't know. That's why I want to have a dialogue. In the comments and either on the phone, you can call me or text me. So, someone, please make it make sense. I do not understand this whatsoever at all. Not one bit. I've been level 1, level 2, level 3, federally DOT'd with 0 violations and 0 tickets. I've always passed every single DOT inspection that I have ever gotten. And they go over your logbook. No one said a single word to me. They said it's legal and it's fine. Someone please make it make sense. So, in which I'm sure that there's probably more stuff in this that I'm forgetting to mention or forgetting to say, but I need help in this making sense, and I need help in justifying losing, 30 hours and 8 days for fueling and loading and unloading and stuff when they already know that you're doing it. So please, somebody help me. Comment, like, and share to get this video out to more professional drivers and more DOT officers and more law enforcement, so that we can have a dialogue about this topic, and so that I can get educated on this topic, because I've never heard of this, and to me it's just plain stupid. It doesn't make a lick of sense. But anyways, if you're gonna hate, don't participate, and I'll see you next video. It's because it's just now thought about it, and I'm gonna make this short and sweet. All the other companies that I have ever driven for have literally never, ever, ever said anything about this at all whatsoever. And every single company that I've ever worked for knows that I'm literally on 2 lines and 2 lines only. I'm in sleeper berth, and it goes to drive line, and when I stop, it goes back to sleeper berth. Safety, the owners, the bosses, managers, dispatchers, literally nobody has said one word to me about this. And it doesn't make a lick of sense to me, because this company that I work for said that it's federal law that you do this, that you show this. And so, like I said, it doesn't make a lick of sense to me, because if it's federal law, why has the 15 other trucking companies that I've worked for not said a single word to me? The only thing that makes sense to me that on what a company has asked me, a few companies have asked me this, because some companies that I've worked for, the loads that you run, they'll plan your week out, and at the end of the week you should be out of hours. And so I ran that route for that week, and I came back and I was like, hey, can I get 1 or 2 more loads really quick? I've still got 20 hours left on my clock. I want to run it all the way down to 0. And they look at me and they're like, how do you have 20 hours left on your 70-hour clock when this route for this week should have ran you down to 3 or 2 hours on your 70-hour clock? You should be out of hours. How do you still have hours? I'm like, well, I don't know what anybody else is doing, but the way I run is I'm on the drive line and I'm on sleeper berth. I don't waste any extra time. Every single 8-day work week in this industry, I have 70 hours to drive, and I maximize my drive time. I also do not stop. I keep the left door shut and keep my foot in it. I only stop when I have to for a 30-minute break at 8 hours or before, and a 10-hour break after 11 hours of driving. And I try not to stop at all during that time. I try to have all my food and my drinks and bottles up here so that I don't have to stop. I'm only stopping literally once, and that's for the 30-minute break, and that's it. So I've told every single company that, and they're like, well, yeah, we can get you 1 or 2 more loads, then that's fine. Literally no company that I've worked for has ever said, hey, you need to be on a 3rd line, you need to be on the on-duty line and show a pre-trip and fueling and a post-trip and loading and unloading. Nobody's ever said that to me once. So make it make sense. Make it make sense, please. Somebody. And I'm being 100% dead serious. Wholeheartedly do not understand this at all. I'm not joking. I'm not playing. I'm not trying to be a comedian. Nothing. I am 100% dead serious. I do not understand this one bit at all. So, DOT, I know DOT watches me. DOT, call me, 417-430-7210. And talk to me on the phone and explain it to me, because I want to have a discussion with you. And anybody else can call or text text me, or comment, like, and share on this video so that more people can get educated about it, or explain it to me, because I would absolutely love that. So, anyways, if you are going to hate, don't participate, and I will see you next video. Alright, and I just now thought about this. This is the other thing, right? So, so they said you have to show on-duty time for getting loaded and unloaded. And when I was dry vans and reefers, I had no-touch freight. So this is the other thing. I'm technically speaking not working. I am sitting in a dock, in sleeper berth, in my sleeper, asleep, taking a nap. So why do I have to show 30 minutes of on-duty getting loaded? I'm literally not doing anything except in the sleeper, taking a nap, getting loaded. Same with getting unloaded. It's not touch freight. I am not doing anything. I am in my sleeper, taking a nap while I'm getting unloaded, right? So why do I have to go on duty and show on-duty time getting loaded or unloaded when I'm literally, legally not working? Not working. So why do I have to show that? You have the lumpers, you have the shippers and receivers who load and unload your trailer. So why do I have to show on duty time? I am literally legally not working at all. Like the definition of the word, I'm not working. So why do I have to show on duty working? And then the other thing is, let's say you've driven 10 hours of your 11 hours and you have a blowout. One of your tires blows out. And so you're on the side of the road for 6 hours waiting for a mechanic to come out and to fix you and everything. So you have to be on duty for that 6 hours waiting. And then he gets there and it takes 2 hours because you realize that there's more damage done that you didn't see or didn't catch or whatever. So he has to keep running back and forth to the shop. So it takes 2 hours. So right there's 8 hours. And, you know, and yes, I'm rusty. This is an 18 speed. I've only driven a 10 and 13. And everything's always been automatic. So yes, I'm rusty. But, so what do you do then? Because legally, you are furthering and advancing and bettering the company, and it's beneficial to the company. So by the law, you have to be on duty, but you already driven 10 hours, and then you're, you know, 1 extra hour because you've already done, you know, your 30 minutes of fuel and 30 minutes of on-duty loading, 30 minutes of off-duty loading, or on-duty unloading, and 15-minute pre-trip. So for even numbers, you got 1 hour. So now legally you're out of hours, but you are broke down on the side of the road waiting for a repair shop to come to you to fix your issue. So how do you legally do that? Because I'm sure everyone has done this. Because I'll get to a truck stop, do my post trip, and see something that is wrong. Like there's a flat tire. And so I'll call work and say, hey, I have a flat tire. I am shut down on my 10-hour break at this location. And they'll be like, okay, we'll send somebody out. And they send a repair shop out to me, and they fix my tire while I'm on my 10-hour break. And I'm still in bed asleep, and I wake up just to tell them and show them, and then they do the work. I sign it, they get paid, I go back to sleep. So how does that legally work? It doesn't make sense. You have to legally be on duty. So that would also go back to falsifying a logbook. Falsifying your logbook. Nice turn signal, police officer. Nice speeding. So, you are falsifying your logbook. So, how does that legally work? Because it doesn't make a lick of sense to me at all. So, nice turn signal, police officer. So, somebody please make it make sense. So, if they are going to force you to show on-duty time for all of this stuff, on-duty loading, when you literally are not working. You have lumpers that are doing it, you have shippers and receivers that are loading your trailer. You literally don't do anything at all. So, if they're going to force you to do that and to waste your 70-hour clock in 8 days, and you're losing drive time, then they need to redo it to where you have like 140 hours in 8 days. So that way you can show all the on-duty time, but not lose any of your drive time. They also need to make a fifth line, a emergency line, to where you have broke down on the side of the road and you're completely 100% out of hours, but it's not legal to park on the shoulder of the road. Like, for example, the entire state of Arkansas, you are not allowed to park on the shoulder of the road in Arkansas at all, period, for any reason. It's an automatic ticket, illegal to do so. So you break down in Arkansas, blow a tire in Arkansas, but you're on the shoulder of the road, have your 3 triangles out, and when you get fixed, you legally are not allowed to be there anymore, so you have to move, but you're out of hours. You've got 6 more hours before your 10-hour break is up, but you can't move. So they need to make a fifth line, an emergency line, that allows you to get to the next safest safe haven. I know some of you are going to be like, oh, well, that's what PC is for. No, that's not. The guy, Justin, who made the PC law, was my safety director for the first company that I worked for, Core, and he counseled me about it because I was always in PC when I came into this industry, because I would always PC everywhere I went and get extra, drive time, like an hour on the front end, an hour on the back end. So I was driving for like 13 or 14 hours. And so he's the one who made the PC law, and he pulled me in his office and explained it to me and said, if I ever see this again, you're going to get in major trouble by me. So no, you can't use PC, personal conveyance. So they need to make a fifth line and have it like an emergency status, that the entire time you're in that emergency status, whenever you get done, you can still go down to the nearest safe haven or something like that and get off the roadway safely. And it doesn't go against your 10-hour break or anything, and you can still drive, but you're still off duty and sleeper berth while you're on the fifth line, so that you're still doing your 10-hour break. And if that happens, like you add 30 more minutes on your 30-minute break, you have to take like a mandatory hour off instead of 30 minutes or something like that. Does all of that make sense to you? Because like I said, if I have 70 hours in 8 days, a trucker's work week in 8 days to drive, but now I no longer have 70 hours to drive. I've got 50 hours to drive because you want me to show 20 hours of, just for lack of better terms, to make it easy, work time. So how does all that work? Why don't you add a fifth line, an emergency line, or something like that, right? So somebody, please make it make sense. DOT, comment on this video, share this video to all of your DOT officer friends and all the law enforcement that you know. Share it with the DMV, like, share, subscribe, comment to the call or text me and have a dialogue with me, and make sure you comment on the video and have a dialogue with me, because it doesn't make a lick of sense to me. So anyways, if you're gonna hate, don't participate.